She said she was just a waitress. I believed her. That was my first mistake. I should have known the way she looked at me wasn't love. It was a mission. By the time I found out who she really was, it was already too late. My name is Adrian Cole, and this is the story of how an Interpol agent brought my entire world crashing down. Subscribe to Mafia Hidden Dairy, because some secrets aren't written in ink. They're written in blood. The night she walked into the Velvet Finch, something shifted in the air. The bar was loud, the kind of chaos that drowns thought, yet somehow I noticed her. Slim figure, calm eyes, white shirt tucked too neatly for this place. You new here? I asked, leaning on the counter. She looked up. Aria Bennett. Vince hired me. Of course he did. Vince Moretti loved surprises almost as much as he loved control. Did he mention who runs the floor? She smiled slightly. You? Right. I slid a glass toward her. Rule 1. Don't believe half the things you hear about this place. And the other half? Those are true. She laughed softly, then focused on cleaning the same spot over and over. That's when I knew she wasn't here for the paycheck. Lucas barged out of the back with a crate. Bro, boss wants you. Now! Tell him I'm busy training the new girl. Aria raised an eyebrow. Already causing trouble? Only kind I know. I watched her shoulders, too steady, like someone trained to stay calm. What's your story, Aria? You don't look like a bartender. Maybe I'm running from something. Join the club. I smirked, but inside, something twisted. People came to the Velvet Finch to hide. No one came clean. Later, when the crowd thinned, I poured us each a drink. So why here? You could have chosen any bar. I like quiet places. This place hasn't been quiet since the 90s. Then maybe I like challenges. Her eyes met mine. They were steady, too steady. Lucas returned, whispering, Vince is getting nervous about the shipment. Says cops are sniffing, I nodded. Aria glanced between us. Sounds serious. Just business talk, I said. Nothing you need to worry about. Right. Her tone was light, but her eyes listened harder than her ears. I changed the subject. You live nearby? Temporary flat. Boyfriend waiting for you? No. Good. I didn't mean to say it out loud. She smiled faintly. That direct with everyone. Only the ones I don't understand. For a moment we stood there in silence, music humming behind us. I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Ease. Maybe curiosity, or maybe danger wearing lipstick. Vince's office door slammed. He shouted my name. I went in, leaving Aria wiping glasses. Inside, smoke hung thick. Vince leaned over paperwork. Who's the girl? New hire. Find out where she came from. No one walks in here uninvited. She's harmless. So were the last two until they weren't. Do your job, Adrian. I left, jaw tight. Vince was paranoid, but he was rarely wrong. When I returned, Aria was chatting with Mila, our other bartender. Mila shot me a look. Careful. What did he want? Aria asked. Just numbers. I lied. She leaned closer. He doesn't trust me, does he? Trust is expensive around here. Then how do I earn it? Tell me something true, she hesitated. I've moved a lot. Never stayed anywhere more than 6 months. Running from your past? Maybe chasing something better. Fair answer. I poured her water. We all chase something. Lucas reappeared, tossing his apron. Shipments tomorrow. If the cops show, we're screwed. Relax, I told him. It'll go smooth, he glared. You always say that and someone ends up dead. Aria froze mid-wipe. Dead? Lucas grinned. Kidding, mostly. Go cool off, I said. He stormed out. Aria set down the cloth. You sound like you care about him. He's my brother. I have to. Family business, huh? Something like that. Do you ever think about leaving? Every day, I said. And every day I don't. She studied me quietly. Then maybe you just need a reason. Her words hit harder than they should. I looked away. Maybe. Hours later, the bar emptied. Neon signs flickered outside. Mila locked the front door. Going home? She asked. Soon. I glanced at Aria. You close up, yeah? She nodded. Got it. I stepped into the cool night, lit a cigarette, then tossed it before even taking a drag. Something in my gut felt off. Curiosity, maybe paranoia. I walked around back. The alley was quiet except for a hum, someone talking low. I moved closer. The light from a phone screen lit Aria's face. Target identified, she whispered. Repeat, target identified. My heart stopped. For a second I couldn't breathe. She turned her head, eyes meeting mine through the dark. I didn't say a word. Neither did she. The silence between us was louder than gunfire. I kept telling myself I'd misheard her that night. Target identified. Maybe it was the music, maybe I'd lost my mind. But every time Arya looked at me, my gut twisted tighter. Rough night? She asked the next evening, polishing glasses under the amber bar lights. Just tired, I lied. You look like you've seen a ghost. Maybe I have. I met her eyes. She didn't blink. Lucas burst through the back door, face flushed. Adrian, the dock's run. It's gone to hell. 2 trucks ambushed by cops. Someone tipped them. Vince followed, voice thunder. I want every name checked. Every damn one. His gaze swept the room, landing briefly on Arya, especially the new girl. My stomach dropped. She just started. She doesn't even know where the docks are. She knows enough to pour drinks and listen. Vince snapped. When he stormed out, Lucas leaned close. You're defending her too hard, brother. You don't even know her. I know loyalty when I see it, I said. Lucas scoffed. Loyalty or lust? I didn't answer. Later the bar emptied. Arya wiped down tables in silence. They think I'm the leak, don't they? They suspect everyone, I said. You too? I hesitated. Not me. I'm the golden boy. Her mouth curved, half smile, half pain. That sounds lonely. It is. We stood close, too close. Her perfume, faint vanilla and smoke, tangled in the air. She whispered, You don't have to stay here forever, you know. And go where? Anywhere that isn't this. For a second, I almost believed her. The next afternoon, Mila caught me outside by the bins, lighting a cigarette. You're slipping, she said. I saw her using the phone last night. Behind the wine rack, my pulse kicked. You sure? She's not who she says she is, Adrian. I've seen people like her, too calm, too clean. I flicked ash to the ground. You don't know her. No, she said softly, but neither do you. I tried to shake her words, but they followed me like ghosts. That night, Vince called a meeting. Derek Shaw, our police contact, stood near the window, checking his watch like he wanted out. Shipment's gone, Vince said, and one of our men, Eddie, is missing. Someone fed the cops our schedule. Lucas slammed his fist on the table. It's an inside job. Had to be. Vince's eyes drifted to me. Find out who, Adrian. Quietly, before I make noise. I nodded. But my chest burned. Before I make noise meant before he kills someone innocent. When the meeting ended, I found Arya in the storage room, counting bottles. Rough meeting? She asked. You could say that. I closed the door. Vince thinks someone sold us out. Do you? I swallowed hard. I don't know anymore. She turned, met my eyes. If you think it's me, just say it. I don't. Then why do you look like you're about to? Her voice cracked at the edge, the first real emotion I'd heard from her. I almost reached for her, but footsteps approached. Lucas. Adrian, he barked. Vince wants you now. She looked at me terrified, then masked it with a smile. Go. Wouldn't want the golden boy in trouble. Hours later, after everyone left, I stayed behind to lock up. The hum of the fridge filled the silence. Something glinted under the counter, small, black, metallic. I knelt. A recorder. Red light blinking, my throat dried. I pressed play, static. Then her voice. Calm, professional. Agent Bennett, confirming subject proximity. Target identified as Vince Moretti. Secondary subject, Adrian Cole, appears emotionally compromised. I stopped breathing. The walls felt like they were closing in. Every laugh, every glance, every touch replayed in my head, each one a lie. Adrian. Mila's voice echoed from the door. I hid the recorder behind my back. Yeah? You okay? Fine, she frowned. You look pale. Just tired. She left. I looked at the recorder again, thumb trembling over the play button. Logic screamed, turn it in, show Vince, save yourself. But her voice, calm, careful, still rang in my head. You don't have to stay here forever. Maybe she'd meant it. Maybe not. I dropped the recorder on the counter. The metal clinked against the glass. Why'd you have to be her? I whispered. I grabbed a bottle of whiskey, poured half over the device, struck a match. Flames flared, small and blue. Plastic melted. Her voice died in the hiss. I stared until nothing was left but smoke and guilt. Lucas's words echoed from earlier. Loyalty or lust? Maybe both. Maybe neither. I poured another drink, hands shaking. What the hell are you, Arya? I whispered. Outside, sirens wailed faintly in the distance. And for the first time, I realized they weren't coming for us. They were already here. The night started with gunfire and ended with fire. Warehouse 3's hit. Lucas yelled, voice shredded by panic. They came out of nowhere, masks, rifles, everything. I grabbed my jacket. Where's Vince? Losing his mind. He thinks it's you, me. Lucas slammed the table. He says only you knew the shipment schedule. That's insane. Tell him that. I rushed to the office. Vince stood by the window, smoke curling from his cigar. The city lights flickered against his face. Someone fed them our roots, he said. And the only person missing tonight is your little waitress. My chest tightened. Aria's got nothing to do with this. Then where the hell is she? I didn't answer. Vince's eyes narrowed. Find her, Adrian. Or I'll assume the worst. I drove through the outskirts, the roads lit by fire and sirens. My phone buzzed. Mila. Don't come back, she said, voice shaking. The cops are everywhere. Vince's people are shooting at them. Where's Lucas? Hospital. Shoulder wound. I gripped the wheel tighter. And Aria? She vanished an hour before it started. The call cut. I followed the only lead I had, her flat. The building was quiet, almost too quiet. I kicked open her door. Papers, files, a laptop still glowing on the desk, and her, standing by the window, hair loose, eyes red. Adrian, don't, I snapped. Just tell me it's not true. Her lips trembled. What did you hear? That you're not a waitress? That you're a goddamn cop. She sighed, stepped closer, and pulled something from her pocket. A badge, Interpol. I never wanted you to find out like this. Wanted me to find out? I laughed bitterly. You were going to ruin my life, Aria. I was doing my job. Your job? I stepped closer. You played me. You asked questions, watched, waited. I didn't plan to fall for you. She shouted. That wasn't part of the operation. I froze. You expect me to believe that? Her eyes shimmered. Believe what you want. But I saw who you really are. You're not Vince. You're not like them. Don't you dare tell me who I am. Adrian, please. Vince is the target, not you. Walk away before this ends you. I can't just walk away. This is my family. No, she said softly. It's your cage. I stared at her, heart pounding. For a second, all I wanted was to believe her. But then I remembered the fire, the blood. Lucas screaming. Love built on lies isn't love, I said. Maybe not, she whispered. But it was real for me. A knock shattered the silence. Bennett. A man's voice barked. It's Doyle. Move now. She looked at me with panic. You need to go. Who the hell is that? My handler. Of course. I turned toward the door, but she grabbed my arm. Adrian, if you stay, they'll arrest you, or worse. I pulled free. Then I guess we both burn. Outside, sirens screamed closer. Helicopter lights slashed across the street. I barely made it to my car before the first explosion lit the sky behind the bar. Warehouse 3, gone. My phone buzzed again. Vince, where are you? He shouted. Cops are here. You led them to us. I didn't. Don't bother lying. I should have seen it. You and that girl? The line went dead. Then gunfire. I drove like a man possessed, but the road back was blocked by black vans, lights flashing blue and red. Interpol. Drop the weapon! I didn't have one, but it didn't matter. I ran. Through smoke, through chaos, through the end of everything I'd known. At the edge of the compound, Vince's men were firing at shadows. I ducked behind a car, lungs burning. Then I saw her, Aria, through the haze, yelling into a headset, pointing toward the warehouses. My rage flared. I shouted her name. She turned, eyes wide. Adrian, get down! A shot cracked. I felt the air move past my ear. She tackled me to the ground, gasping. You're bleeding, I said. It's not mine. Doyle's voice cut through the radio. Bennett, move out now. Leave him! She hesitated, tears streaking through soot. I can't. Go, I said. Do your job, Adrian. Go! She pressed something into my hand, her badge, then vanished into the smoke. The compound erupted in flame. Vince's car exploded near the gate. I stumbled through debris, sirens echoing in the distance. Everything I built, gone. Mila's words from days ago played in my head. You don't know her. She was right, but maybe, just maybe, I still loved her anyway. When the sun rose, the velvet finch was ash. Lucas was alive, barely. Vince was gone, and Aria Bennett, no trace. Just her badge, still in my pocket, burned around the edges, warm against my heart. I looked at the ruins and whispered, "Everything burned, Arya. Everything but you." 6 months, that's how long it's been since the fire. Since my name became a curse whispered in back alleys and interrogation rooms. They think I'm dead. Maybe they're right. The man I used to be, Adrian Cole, died the night everything burned. Now, I'm just a ghost with someone else's ID and too many memories. I pushed open the door of a roadside diner. Somewhere near Devon. The waitress barely looked up. Good. I liked invisible. Then a voice behind me, familiar. Too familiar. "You still take your coffee black?" I froze, turned. Arya. She looked older, harder. No badge this time. Just a woman with guilt in her eyes. "You shouldn't be here," I said. "Neither should you. You've been following me." "Not exactly." She sat across from me. "You left a trail. Maybe I wanted you to find me. Why?" "Closure," I said. "Or revenge?" "Haven't decided yet." Her eyes softened. "You wouldn't kill me. You don't know what I'd do anymore." She sighed. "Yes, I do." I leaned forward. "Then tell me something true for once. Was any of it real?" "All of it," she said quietly. "Except the lies." I laughed bitterly. "That's all that was left, Arya." She flinched, looked away. "Lucas made a deal." My blood went cold. "What?" "Before the raid. He reached out to Interpol, offered Vince's roots, contacts, everything in exchange for protection. But Vince found out. The deal fell apart. And she swallowed. "I was sent to keep you alive. Not destroy you." I stared at her. The world tilted. "You're lying." "I'm not. Carter Doyle was supposed to pull you out before the compound burned. But Vince moved faster. Everything collapsed. So Lucas sold us out first?" She nodded. "He wanted out. He thought he could save you both." My chest ached. "He didn't save anyone. He died in a hospital because of it." "I know." Her voice broke. "And I live with that every day." I slammed my hand on the table. "You let me think you betrayed me." "I couldn't tell you then." "You'd have gone straight to Vince. He would have killed us both." "You still used me. I protected you." I laughed bitterly. "By burning my life to the ground?" Her voice rose. "You were never going to leave, Adrian. You think you could just walk away from Vince? From that life? He would have buried you next to Lucas." Silence filled the space between us. Only the clatter of dishes and the hum of rain outside. "You sound like you cared," I said quietly. "I did." "Then why didn't you save him?" She blinked back tears. "Because he didn't want saving." I looked away. For months I'd dreamed of this moment. Her confession, her regret, my revenge. But standing there, I didn't feel victory. Just emptiness. "Lucas always said you were the smart one," she whispered. "He didn't know how broken you'd become." "Don't talk about him. I have to." She leaned closer. "He didn't mean for it to go this far. He thought he could make peace with Interpol." "Give up, Vince. Start fresh." "He was trying to save you." I gritted my teeth. "He lied to me my whole life, and you helped him finish the job. Then why didn't I turn you in?" I didn't answer. She reached across the table, her hand hovering near mine. "Because I loved you." "Because I still do." I pulled away. "You don't get to say that." "Then what do I say?" "Nothing," I said. "We're ghosts now, Arya. You killed the rest of me." She nodded slowly. "Maybe you can still find what's left." "I already did," I said. "Revenge." Her eyes didn't flinch. "If that's what you need." I stood. "You think I won't?" "I think you'll remember who you are before you pull the trigger." I stared at her, hand twitching near the gun under my coat. "You don't know me anymore. Then show me I'm wrong." The silence cracked like thunder. I wanted to hate her. I wanted to end it. But when I looked at her, I saw the fire again, the one that took everything and somehow left me alive. "You should go," I said finally. "Where?" "Anywhere that isn't near me." She rose, eyes glassy. "You'll come after me, probably. And when you do, I'll decide if I'm still human." She hesitated, then whispered, "Goodbye, Adrian." "Don't," I said. "Ghosts don't get goodbyes." I watched her leave, the doorbell chiming like a heartbeat fading into silence. Outside, the sea crashed against the cliffs, rough and endless. Lucas betrayed me. Arya saved me. Vince rotted behind bars, and me? I was just the shadow left behind. I looked at my reflection in the diner window and almost didn't recognize the man staring back. Maybe that was the point. The ocean was calmer that night, but I wasn't. Devon's mist rolled over the cliffs like ghosts still searching for names. I'd told myself I was done chasing the past. Then I heard her voice again, on the radio, calling for help. Aria, I could have turned it off. I didn't. I found her cornered in an abandoned shipyard. 2 SUVs, 4 men, and one name whispered like venom. Damien Cross. He was Vince's right hand once. Now he wanted revenge. When I stepped out of the shadows, Aria's eyes widened. Adrian, what are you doing? Finishing it. Don't. Please. Too late. Damien turned, smirking. Well, the ghost himself. I ignored him. You let her go, and maybe I let you breathe. He laughed. You really think this is about her? No, I said. It's about Lucas. His smirk faltered. He made his choice. Yeah, I said. And you made yours when you put a bullet in his chest. Business, Cole. Nothing personal. It was personal to me. The first shot cracked the air before he could answer. His men dove for cover. Aria screamed Manami. Bullets tore through metal, glass, and memory. I moved like instinct. Years of muscle, rage, and guilt guiding my hand. One man dropped. Another tried to flank me. I didn't miss. Then silence, except for the gulls. Only Damien remained, limping, bleeding, still laughing. You think killing me fixes you? No, I said, raising my gun. It frees me. He coughed blood. You'll always be one of us. Not anymore. I pulled the trigger. Aria ran to me. Adrian, we have to go. Police, let them come. You can't stay here. I'm tired of running. Her voice broke. Please, I can still help you. No one can help me. She grabbed my hand, trembling. Lucas wouldn't want this. Lucas wanted peace, I said. And this is the only peace I understand. Don't talk like that. I mean it. Then at least tell me why you came back. I looked at her, the same eyes that haunted every sleepless night. Because you're the only part of my story I still believe in. She swallowed. Then live. For me, I smiled faintly. Maybe it's time someone wrote the truth. Adrian. But I stepped back. Sirens echoed across the harbor, blue and red lights slicing through the fog. Go, I said. She shook her head. Not without you. I'll find my way. You always say that. And somehow, I always do. Her tears shimmered in the flashing lights. What about us? There was never an us, I whispered. Only what we tried to save. She took a step forward. Then tell me you'll surrender. I can't. Why not? Because ghosts don't get trials. Adrian, go, I shouted. She froze, then turned and ran into the night. I watched her disappear, heart splitting like the sea against rock. The police stormed the yard minutes later, too late, as always. I'd already vanished through the tunnels below the pier, slipping between shadows and gun smoke. My body ached, my blood warm and heavy, but my mind felt clear for the first time in years. Freedom wasn't the absence of chains. It was knowing you could break them any time. Weeks passed. The papers called it the Cross Massacre. Some said I died there. Others claimed I fled to Spain. Truth is, I stopped caring. I rented a room under another name, somewhere quiet, somewhere I could finish what mattered. The journal began as a confession, then became a map of everything I'd lost. I wrote about Lucas, Vince, Aria, about loyalty and lies and the cost of loving someone built from both. Every word felt like digging my own grave and climbing out of it. When I sealed the package, I didn't sign it. I just wrote her name. Aria, inside was the journal and a single note. For the truth, we never got to live. Then I walked to the cliffs, the same place we first met, and watched the tide erase the footprints we'd left behind. For the first time, I didn't feel hunted. For the first time, I felt human. Later, she'd opened the package in some quiet apartment, maybe in London. I could almost see her tracing the first line with her fingers. The one that mattered most. I was never the villain, just a man who loved the wrong person, and maybe she'd finally understand. The world would still call me a killer, a traitor, a ghost, but for a few fleeting moments, I'd been something else. Alive, free,